Helmets Off is on, and we are going to the NFL again because we love the NFL. Annual owners meetings, or I don't know, semi-annual or whatever it is, are going on in Orlando, Florida. And we've had many discussions about what they're going to talk about. So the catch rule was one, the national anthem was another, but the hot topic going on at the owners meeting is this whole you can't lead with your helmet or your head to initiate contact. This is going to be tricky. I'm not sure how. So this isn't just defense, this is offense. So if a running back is running through the hole and he kind of has to lower he's not going to be able to do that. Going to be a lot of consternation on this one between officials and players and coaches and changing the whole paradigm of football all the way down through the ages. Right now, it's a 15-yard penalty. Potentially, it could be like the targeting rule where it might include a suspension. And of course, we have the catch rule, which is a new thing. They've redefined what a catch is in the NFL. So you catch the ball, you have possession inbounds, it can kind of roll around on the ground. You have to make a move like 3 steps or lunging forward with the ball. And those are some of the actual guidelines for what constitutes a catch. Here's another one. They've made a permanent change to which I didn't know was temporary, touchback on a kickoff. So if you kick the ball off in the end zone and you down it, don't run it back, now it's etched in stone for now, forever, all time, ball goes to 25-yard line. Here's another one, pass interference. Pass interference was the most egregious penalty in all of sports because it's a spot foul. If it happens in the end zone, ball goes on the 2-yard line. If it happens out on the field, it's where it happened, that's actually the penalty. This is going to play out in a very peculiar way this year because there could become a strategy with defensive backs. They say, look, I'm getting burned for a touchdown, I'm tackling that guy. I don't care because at least it's only 15 yards. It's not this 35-yard penalty or 25-yard penalty or 38-yard penalty, wherever the ball was. It's only 15 yards. And 15 yards is the lesser of two evils because it could be a touchdown. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw some of this happening with defensive backs. And they may even talk about it as a strategy as a defense. You know, if you're going to give up a touchdown, give up a penalty before you do. That'll be a very interesting process. And here's another one. The league can actually suspend you from headquarters. So they, Big Brother's always watching, right? And they're watching every game that goes on. There are penalties that have happened in the past, whether a player, Gronkowski actually hit a guy, very cheap shot, and he was penalized in the game, later suspended for a game. But during that game, he still played. The league now has the ability to, if there's a flagrant foul, something very egregious, they can, from league headquarters, suspend a player, take him out of the game immediately. New rule change. That'll be another interesting thing to see happen where, a guy gets a penalty and now he's gone, didn't think he was gone. Another interesting new addition this year, which I'm like, why didn't they do this from the very beginning, is at the end of a game, which happened in the playoffs, they score a touchdown. The team obviously is going to win because the game's over. There's no chance for the other team to actually get the ball back. There's no try for extra point in that situation, which happened in the playoffs. Minnesota, New Orleans. Minnesota scores a touchdown. Obviously, the game's over. The season's over for New Orleans. Of course, it continues for Minnesota, so one team's very dejected, the other team's very elated, and there's a lot of chaos going on in the field. They're just saying game's over at that point, don't need to try. I don't know why this hasn't ever changed before now. Glad to see that change happening because it's really, it needs to happen. Anyways, some really interesting and intriguing changes are a foul, but they haven't addressed the national anthem yet. We'll have to stay tuned for that one. It'll be fun to watch how these changes affect the game because there's going to be a lot of discussion, I'm sure, about actually what's happening. Oh, and there's one more, by the way. You cannot use video on the sideline. Everyone's like, it's 2018, we have video on everything. So they show still pictures, either in printed form on a piece of paper, or they have the tablet. That hasn't changed. And the argument was some coaches aren't very good at adjusting. If you had the video, it would make it too easy for teams to adjust, which I kind of agree with. Because I'm telling you, if I had video back in my day, lights out all the time, every game, all day long. So I'm glad that rule stuck. Anyways, helmets off is now off. Text helmets to 65537, smartphone, podcast button, type in helmets. Until then, we'll catch you soon.